Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the LWN Network. It is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Welcome to the show. It has been something as we start off this show tonight. We've had to reboot a few times. Then I forgot to turn my mic on before we entered, and I've got this like green moss hair going on. I don't know what's going on. But the important thing is, I'm here. LW is here backstage, ready to go. John E., full of information. Can't wait to talk to him about these topics tonight, and you guys as well. We are geared up and ready to go. You know, the optics don't matter. The visuals don't matter. If you can hear us, that's good. If you see us and we've got green moss, or LW's got his cowboy hat on, or John E. is shaking in his boots, it doesn't matter. We're here to give you the information and have a good time tonight, you guys. It is, like I said, Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Now, you guys, is it obvious to you that EpStein's still alive? We're going to cover that and all the crapola that's been going on about these new EpStein files that we all so wanted to be dispersed. New stuff came out today about Trump. Guess what? Trump is exonerated because in 2006, he reported Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, saying that she was evil. So Trump has a new little golden nugget in his pocket that we are going to talk about. Also, where in the world is Jeffrey Epstein? Also, are we buying into all the stuff that they are feeding us, all the antics that they want us to see? Are we buying into it? Johnny is going to break it all down because he's ready to go. So you guys, we're going to be right back after this short little intro, and we'll see you with LW and Johnny.
All right, welcome back to LWN. We started off with a bang tonight. A lot of rebooting, trying to hear ourselves. I don't know. It's just that's technology, right? You're constantly always having to get the next version. Yeah. So we did that tonight. We got a lot to cover. Like Tammy said in the monologue, there is so much going on, so much to cover, and we got our brother John Estabrook with us tonight, and he'll break it down for us. We also had some coffees bought for us already, Tammy, first thing tonight. So I just want to say, I don't know who it was. So if you guys would, whoever bought the 3 coffees tonight, if you want to put your name there in chat, we'll put you in the drawing. But we're up to $305 or $320.
Awesome.
For some reason it did not take, but we're up to 320. Let me see if I can change that.
Well, you know what's really sweet is this person who donated, LW said, still my go-to show, be blessed, and that's amazing. I love that out of all the shows there are to choose out there, that they choose to come here, because we do our best to give you the latest information and the truth. We work really hard to make sure we can give you the best truth that we can find out there. So that someone who donated, please put your name in chat so we can get you entered into the drawing down the road for that pellet grill.
Absolutely. Hotel 25. Good to see you. It's been a long time since we've seen them in chat. So it's good to see you. Welcome back. It's been a long time, man. I tell you what, we've had, so when did it happen, Tammy? It was like, wasn't it October 17th of 2025? When we got the big channel back, and it's just been shitting and getting ever since. So we hit the ground running, and we're climbing. I think one of our videos week before last got 22 or 23,000 views. So amazing. Thank you for you guys for following us. Hit that like button, subscribe, share us out. And of course, John Estabrook's been a big part of that too. Since we've been back, Jeff B, Diamond in, like the gang is back, and we've been putting it out there, been putting out as much information as we possibly can. Of course, I've always had a different perspective, but John Estabrook does not put anything out without doing lots and lots of research. And our brother Stephen H. too, another big researcher in the LWN network here. So we, like John said in one of the things he put out today, we spent 2 years putting out information.
Yeah.
And it took 2 years after we got done putting out the information before mainstream, lamestream media finally caught up and was putting out anything. So, John, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the floor, sir. Start us off tonight.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great.
Go ahead, brother.
Awesome. Well, the first thing I want to let the listeners know, because, I don't do a bio or nothing like that. But the very first thing that I would meet and tell anybody that I meet, number one, I am a man of God.
Amen,
God is the power in my life. And in that, then, when I see things that are disruptive, evil, you might call it good, evil, whatever you describe it, but things that divide us, because God is unity. And that unity is in love and peace. So I can accept any American because I am a man of this country. I'm a patriot. I hold myself to high standards in that. If you're an American, your political party does not enter my conversation. I don't care what your political party is. Now, if you've got an ideology that's outside of the Republican form of government that we're constitutionally granted, that is in our Constitution. Article 4, Section 4. And so that's a fact. So as a Republican form of government, that means it's representative government equal to every American. But it doesn't go far into equal for every illegal criminal crosser. That doesn't enter the equation. Their rights and to due process are being misconstrued by the lamestream media and the propagandists on the extreme left. And in that ideology that wants to open the borders, there's a reason for that. And there's a lot of things that we are watching in the distraction that we're in. We're living in two realities. And it's what the propagandists reveal on television, MK Ultra, and that's Fox. I don't care which one. I don't care about political party. But when we think of these people as being news, and they are not. They're entertainment. And all those things were changed. That law was signed by Barack Obama to give them the right and the ability to lie on air. So the propaganda media keeps us distracted. And listen, I hope that what's the lady's name? That's an 84-year-old woman been kidnapped from her house. Most likely, I don't know whether she'll survive. What's her name? I can't think of her name.
Samantha Guthrie's mother. Yes.
Yes, Nancy. Nancy. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a big distraction from what is actually taking place. EpStein, big important, and I guess it'd be best because I did I've got some research that I did, and I told Tammy, Mike, I'd like to ask people in the comments, because I like hearing from the people. I love being when I'm on and I'm just down there in the comments, man. I love to see the comments because we have an educated listening group of people that, I mean, and the respect that we have for one another and our differences of opinions, that's America. So I like the comments. And my first question, because I'm going to lay some groundwork for where I'm going to head. And this is as a conspiracy theorist who's been 98% right on every conspiracy that I ever spoke. This is a starting point. I want to ask the listeners, if they would, if any of them can tell me who is DARPA.
We've heard
Good
a lot
question,
about
John.
DARPA.
Yeah, that's a good question. We dove really deep into DARPA all those years we were doing the podcast talking about COVID-19 and all the other weather weather manipulation.
Still doing it.
And they're still doing it. So
yeah,
great question to chat tonight. Who is DARPA? What's the definition of DARPA? What do you think DARPA is? Drop it there in chat. If you're watching this later tonight or tomorrow, if you're catching the replay, drop us a comment. I try to respond to every comment I possibly can, whether I agree with it or not. So great question, John. Go ahead.
All right. So now if no one's commented, then let me offer you DARPA. That's the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. An agency. What do we know about agencies? Who controls the agencies? You know, this one is the military. All right. And it's also the CIA. And it's also the FBI. And it's the NIH. All these agencies are married. And this one is a dark money bunch of scumbags, in my opinion, because of what they hide from us. What we found out from them in the COVID research was that they were keenly working with the biolabs to create COVID, the SARS-CoV-2, then COVID-19. What a perfect timing right before an election of something that they had been working on for years. They had even started working on the vaccine in 2015. So these are the guys that are behind that. But now I'm going to tell you another person that they have great affinity, Jeffrey EpStein. Wow, what would Jeffrey EpStein, why would he fund any portion of any project that's taking place at DARPA? It's a mystery, huh? But he had communications. He working for the Rothschilds. That's a huge satanic blood cult that we've talked about in the past, Mike. And so then I'd ask the listeners too. Do you remember when we spoke about the Caesarian Mafia? Does anybody remember that?
Oh yeah,
because that's who the Rothschilds are. There were 12 tribes that fled and that Moses carried out in the desert, and these this tribe was so bloodthirsty that they isolated themselves and kicked them away from everybody else. But they were Jews. But these were people that were still sipping on cups of blood now.
So
and that's
before
a reality,
we get
satanic.
So before we get, let's cover DARPA for a few moments, because I have some questions to ask. Now, when we talk about weather modification, Johnny, I am convinced 100% this last phase of the so-called flu that went through was something to do with that, because I am 8 weeks in and I still have a cough. I have never had anything like this. I've had COVID twice. It was nothing like this. What happened before that is we had a weather alert for bad weather with metallics and everything in it that they didn't publicize. I was outside. I caught this. Many people in my family caught this. I'm still dealing with it. And then LW, way over there on the West Coast, he got it a little bit, and some of his family members. Now, they didn't get it as bad as I got it and some of my family members, but we've been dealing with this since before Christmas. So that, I believe, is with the fog came, the lines came, the contrails, or whatever you want to call them, the lines in the sky came. Chemtrails, not contrails. That's from the planes. Yes, you can still see them. But my stick in the mud with this whole issue is you've got a lot of people out there that say, yeah, I'm a pilot. Yeah, this is what we do. It's crop dusting and all this other stuff. But I'll be danged. Their family members and themselves, when they do this, aren't they affecting their family members, friends, and themselves? Or is there something that they're injecting that helps them bypass this? Because whatever this is that I have still is kicking my arse. And I'm telling you, it is that.
Okay. So now, and I don't mind asking on there. So
Okay.
you're taking a combination of flubenazole and ivermectin?
As well as the oregano and black seed oil. And so I'm a
Black
lot
seed
better.
oil.
I'm 100%
Black
better.
seed oil.
But yeah, black seed oil.
That's
but
good.
my cough is still there, very infrequent.
Tammy,
not as deep.
did you get the ivermectin like I told you?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like a good answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, so if flubenazole, listen, Tammy, Jackie and I had the same thing. I was down for a month, and so was she. And that's a long period for us because I focus on keeping my immune system built up.
Me
because
too.
I have COPD.
Let me interject for just a second there, John. So
Okay.
when I was telling Tammy some of the stuff to grab, and you were giving her a list too. I did take I think I took 2 ivermectin pills, Tammy, and I was coming down with some crud for sure.
You were.
I bounced right out of it. 2 days. Doom. Gone. See you later. And listen, it's a combination. It's not just ivermectin, but I believe in ivermectin. And John Estabrooks has a good protocol on what to take. White pine needles, something else that you guys we've talked about
all kind of,
years ago. Like there's a protocol that you can do, but Tammy's family has been plagued with this since before Christmas, and it has been just honestly kicking their ass all over the place.
And my problem with all this is, and why I'm bringing it up is, I'm very healthy and I take the preventative of getting my immune system up. I take all that stuff to keep my immune system up. So I'm thinking to myself, if it kicked my ass for as long as it did, and I still have a cough, I'm 100% better other than the cough. What does it do to people that don't have their immune system beefed up?
Oh my God, Tammy, where are you going with that?
Go ahead. Take it over there, Rover.
The shocking reality is, and what we verified, peer-reviewed studies from around the planet, is that people that are vaccinated have a diminished immune system. And I'll go into the gene editing, the gene therapy, and why that immunity is weakened. But with the first round of mRNA vaccines, you have diminished your God-given immune system by 20 to 25%. If you then boost, you diminish it even further. Now, what does that mean, diminish your God-given immunity? Typically, with just an immune system and no altered gene, you can fight off things with natural medicine. And because here's the reality. COVID-19 was weak. It really is. When you think about it, I know for a fact with the proper prescribed, the Zelenko protocol, Zev Zelenko, write that down, capture that somewhere, and look up Zev Zelenko's protocol. Do a little Google search, and you'll get everything you need to know. And that's a great protocol for people with an immune system that's not diminished. But when your immune system is diminished after vaccination, you've got to go 2 steps beyond with the maintenance of your immune system. And look, Tammy said a while ago, here's the reality. When she said black seed oil, it just goes off in my head because that's the one thing that I made Jackie. Once I got in about 3 weeks, I said, oh no, this is some type of bacterial. So and that's one thing, folks. Black seed oil is horrible. It don't taste good.
It's even in tea and in the pill. It's awful. And oregano.
Yeah, I love oregano oil, but now oregano oil is great. The first time you get a little sign of a sniffle or something that you just think is normal, man, oregano oil, hit it right quick, dose it up, double dose it, and shoot, it'll keep you from going all the way down the cycle. But black seed oil, man, there's no bacteria. Now listen, write it down as Johnny told you. There's no bacteria that can live in black seed oil. Got that? It'd be great for spraying on your plants if you needed to. You'd have to dilute it though, because it's stout. So,
John, let me ask you this question. A lot of people in chat, well, a couple of people in chat, and I've had friends also ask, and I know where I get mine, but where can just the average, ordinary, everyday American get their hands on some ivermectin over the counter? Because they made it over the counter now. So where could they get it over the counter? And what's hydrochloroquine?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you can get ivermectin. Now, here's the thing. I just buy mine on Amazon. Did you listen to what I'm telling? Look, Amazon. I guarantee you, yeah, you could probably get it on Trump RX.
Oh, now you can probably.
Well,
but
I'm supposed to be able to. It's over the counter. I bought my last bottle. Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest.
Freaking Amazon.
I'm going to be honest about this. LW was telling me about ivermectin, and I went and looked at it, John, and it was like paste and this and that. And there I looked into wait, though. I'm telling you, for the average person like me, even though I've studied this stuff and Mike has had it, you've had it, it was harder than hell for me to figure out the dosage, where to get it, all that stuff. So if you say go to Amazon or Trump RX, but then you have to figure out the dosage and stuff as well.
You can get it right here on Amazon.
Okay,
let me show it,
LW.
Let me share screen real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share screen. When John said you can find it probably on Amazon, I'm gonna share screen right here. I went right into Amazon. Yeah, and I typed in ivermectin tablets for person. So here is 12 milligrams, 100 tablets for $86. I'm gonna drop the link in chat for anybody who wants to pick up some ivermectin.
There you go. See, that works out because go ahead.
Trump RX may be cheaper. It's a pharmaceutical over-the-counter drug. And if he ain't got it on Trump RX at a better price, I want to know why.
Exactly. I was just going to say that, John, but it does get confusing because this person says, Michelle says, we don't have ivermectin over the counter. And that's something that I was running into too. It was giving me all these weird things. It wasn't just, I couldn't pull that up like LW pulled it up. I don't know why it didn't come up like that because I would have ordered it, but it didn't. So this is very helpful. Go ahead.
Yeah. And let me help some of the listeners.
That'd be great.
The reason that I can call myself a researcher and that Stephen H. can call himself a researcher is you have to have a mind. And my mind operates as, okay, what is it that I want? Well, I want ivermectin for a person. I don't want a horse freaking paste. Right. I don't want to deal with that because I've done it. And you can do it. I've took pig warmer, but here's the bottom line. You have to know your body weight. You have to know the milligrams. It's a pain in the butt to get the proper dosage because you do not want to overdose yourself on it. Like for my body weight right now, I weigh 200 pounds and I still take just the 12 milligram. And listen, I do it somewhat as a preventative too. I'm not going to go a month without taking a 3 or 4 day course of ivermectin. And then I also take flubenazole with it. And then I have a little sour sop. Go ahead.
So it's not just, see, that's the whole thing that gets people confused. You have to figure out your body weight and you have to figure out the regime that you're on, how much you need to take, how often. And that's hard to figure out. I'm going to be honest. It's hard to figure out. And I know that it works. And
look, if I'll take the time to, and I know I've got it in all those documents. I've got the exact breakdown of how you determine it if you're going to use, because I had people contacted me and that was all they had access to during the crisis was horse paste. And it's very, and for most people, it was two clicks. 4 clicks max, and each click is so many milligrams. And that's all I ask them to do is send me Take a picture of what you got, send it to me, and let me look at the milligrams, and I'll break it down. You give me your body weight, and I'll tell you how many clicks to take. Because when we worm horses, you got to worm them by weight, and I've wormed pigs with it. It's just, but
let me
weight.
ask you this question, John.
Clear. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this question, because you and Stephen H do a lot of research, and we really appreciate all the research and time that both of you put in. I hope Stephen's listening tonight, because I truly enjoyed our podcast that we used to do. I put this in the title tonight. What are the chances of us having a COVID-19 hoax 2.0 again in our future?
Won't be a hoax.
What's the possibility of that?
100%.
Yeah.
It won't be a freaking hoax. These people know. Let me. When we talk about COVID, got to understand. We were told we were crazy when we first said, well, they didn't need to do this. Is nothing special. They could have carried it in an aerosol bottle, because when you go to DARPA and you're looking at the way they were studying the creation of this biological weapon, it was to be aerosolized. So if I gave every little Chinese student coming into the United States of America a little 25 milliliter bottle, aerosol bottle, and said, hey, when you get over there, get up amongst 50, 60 people, give us about 3 squirts into the old airway. You know what I mean? And that's it. So here's the thing. The WHO, boy, my most favorite hated people, the WHO, the World Health Organization.
Oh, those people are evil.
And then all we got to do, wasn't there a movie about a Doctor Who or somebody? I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So, but at any rate, they just met with 30 nations today or yesterday. Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, today is Tuesday.
Okay, so I'm doing good. Monday. So Monday, they met with 30 nations to talk about the oncoming pandemic. Pay attention. Because you know what? The one thing about Satan is before he carries off anything evil, because we are men of discernment and we have the intelligence of an infinite being, when I hear them tell me something, they're going to carry it out. Because that was an order when God cast down Satan. That's one of the things he told old Satan. You can't perpetrate any evil against my people without their knowledge. Remember that. That's not me. That's biblical. So without the people's knowledge, but what did they do? When the World Health Organization meets with 30 nations and wants to have a conversation about the, let's say upcoming or a possibility of pandemic, they're telling you up front, and you're going to be okay with it. So, but now here's what I hear when I listen to that as a conspiracy theorist, and what I know to be truth. They've already unleashed biological weapons on us once. Yep. They didn't get the kill rate that they needed, except the mission was never the virus. The mission was the vaccine.
Yes.
Dr. Stephen Malone begged them, told them, do not do this. This is not fit to be injected into any human. And especially for listen, they created it, man-made, lab-made virus. They unleashed it, and it didn't get the kill rate. Listen to what I'm telling you, because for a while, they reported pretty high kill rates, but when did they do this? Flu season. And how many of those deaths did they recorded as COVID deaths were the freaking flu? How many of them were pneumonia? How many of them? I've got a good friend in my community. His daddy dropped dead at a gas station. And listen, they wrote him down the corner, put him down as a COVID victim.
John, we even reported that there were drive-by shootings in Chicago that were reported as COVID-19 deaths. So the survival rate, as we were researching all this stuff, was over 98%.
Yes.
And remember that they tried to convince parents to vaccinate their children.
People did.
and I think the children rate was like 0.003% deaths for COVID-19. It was all about the vaccine.
Yeah,
and
it was.
to respond to some of the comments out there, I want you guys to research the Amish. If you look at the numbers on the Amish, they have like a 4% obesity rate in their community. They don't take any vaccines, zero, no measles, no anything. They are some of the healthiest people out there because they don't pump poisons into their kids. They don't pump poisons into their community. That's a fact. You cannot dispute that. I would love to see somebody try to come up with numbers in chat for me, because I've done a lot of research on the Amish, and they don't listen to media. They don't have television. They don't do any of this shit. They didn't buy into COVID-19, not even a splinter of percent, and they all survived. You can't dispute that. John Estabrooks, Tammy.
I was going to say, let me say that all the homeless people didn't stay 6 feet apart and did not have good immune systems, and they didn't get wiped out.
Imagine that, Tammy. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Hey,
and not,
what about the protesters, Tammy?
There you go.
That burned cities to the ground.
There you go.
That did not stay 6 feet apart. And what happened to them?
Yep. And you know what else pisses me off now? Remember, they were giving COVID shots out, or COVID, not shots, but the testers out for free. They just like, everybody take them, pull up and drive up, go into the store, grocery store, pharmacy, take them. Guess what? They now charge $15 for a COVID test. I couldn't believe it. In my Kroger, now they're charging you for it because what? The flu is back. Remember when COVID was around, everything was COVID. The flu completely disappeared. Now this year we've got the flu A, flu B, flu C. It's been going crazy, but no COVID. And you got to pay for your COVID test. It's ridiculous, people.
Did you go get the new mRNA flu vaccine?
Heck to the no. You know,
brother John and Tammy the Hammer. I don't know about you two, but I know for me, for a fact, I'm a pure blood.
Yep, me too. And I'll tell you what, how can you keep taking a flu shot when they can never guarantee, and they always say, oh, this one is only 40% or 30% accurate because we don't know what strain of flu is out there, but it's going to help you fight the flu eventually in some way, somehow. It's going to make it lesser than. Well, I have my own people around me that have taken that flu shot and have gotten so deathly ill. Some of them very, very sick for a very long time. And they were healthy all along till they took that damn shot or the mRNA vaccine. I had a friend who has 3 babies with a guy that passed from the freaking COVID protocol. He was a 36-year-old man, healthy and everything, but the protocol tanked him. And we all know about all this, okay? But it's coming forward now. But my question is, where is the nooses? Where are the handcuffs of every single person that made us feel like losers because we didn't take that? And where's Fauci? Fauci is the leader of this pack. And then what was the lady's name with the scarf? What was her name? That the other female?
Deborah Burke.
Dr. Burke.
There you go. Yeah. Where are they now? How did COVID just disappear after being a pandemic when nothing worked?
All right. Listen.
Okay. We'll listen.
It could be because, I want everybody to understand me. I am a man of God. I wish no violence or harm to anyone, but I pray for my God to have slipped a rope around Dr. Fauci's neck. Deborah Burke, Miss Lewinsky, Ralph Barrett, every Pfizer, Moderna, J&J. These people carried out crimes against humanity. We paid for taxpayer dollars, paid for the entire COVID vaccine, the biological weapon. We paid for every bit of the research. That research was not only held in China, it was held in biolabs in Ukraine. Ukraine, the home of Satan's worshipers, the bank of Satan. Just think of it that way, folks. I'm going to be real with you because you know where this is coming from? My God. What I say and what I I don't preach. I'm not a preacher. But what I am is a man that when I find the facts, the truth, and I have to dig, I've got to wade through and muddle through AI BS. And then you get on websites now that they won't let me have access to, that I fund, that we fund. There's not an agency inside this government that can hold a document from you and I. But you don't ask for them. We don't get them. How many people in chat have actually filed a complaint or a Freedom of Information Act for any agency? I don't care what agency, any agency. How many people in this chat, patriots, have filed a Freedom of Information request?
True. People like to bitch and
tell me what
complain,
they're
but
saying
don't
in
get involved.
comments.
And then this is
Well-
Hickdale says this is a good point though. Let's cover, because she said, how can we be pure blood when they shed on us? That's true. They do shed on us. But when I say pure blood, it's like we never took it indirectly. And I think it's less effective by shedding.
All right, let me share some insight, Tammy, because
Okay,
I wanted to
go.
earlier, but then I got sidetracked with Fauci.
Okay,
because when somebody says his name, I pray to God that God has smite that son of a gun, because listen, the indictments are set in the International Court of Criminals, International Court of Justice. Those indictments against every one of those people I just named exist. But not over here in the USA. The Americans are fine with killing off their old people. We love it. We want some more of it. Then you kill our babies and you give young men, athletic men, you inject them with shit that destroys their blood. Are you kidding me? And we ain't protested. We ain't done nothing. We got them mouthpieces up in D.C., huh? You want to talk to criminals? That's the criminal mafia that's controlling everything that's happening to all of us on both. It ain't no two parties. It's a uniparty. And guess who they work against on both sides? They're either working against the right half of the people or they're working against the left half of the people. But you know what they're working against? All the people. Because in that scenario, the divide is because Satan fears one thing, the truth.
Yep.
And he fears a man that has no fear. And with no fear, I'm going to tell you that we have recourse. If we unite, we can't be divided. We can't let them tell us what we believe, what our ideology is. I'm an American. I love God. I love my family. I understand the sacrifice of freedom and liberty. I lost a young man in Afghanistan that was a boy of this community. And it still brings on right now. I want to weep because that boy lost his life in a cave. And little Ricky, he deserves better from all of us because he'd have never stood for this crap. Yeah, and we did. We let this crime go on and be carried out, and it's against Americans. You know, right now these vaccines.
It's against humanity.
It's
how many little girls who take that vaccine will be able to have a baby?
Well, that ties into this question here for you, John. Jackie P says, John, a sensitive question. My cousin's concerned because her husband got 2 shots and a booster in 21. Is she in danger regarding intimate relations? Now, you guys, John isn't just talking out his rear end. John has done tons of research. So listen to what John has to say.
All right. So listen, and let me, I got sidetracked again. I'm bad about that. But the bottom line is my first contracted case of test positive for COVID was 2 years into the event. Okay. Now, I don't know what everybody else's experience was, but what I understood from that point forward, I had been exposed to the S spike protein, right? So you had exposure to it. And one of the things about this S spike protein, you can do a spike detox. And I'm trying to think, Peter McCullough advertises it on TV. Mm-hmm. And you can do that detox, and you probably should. But now I'm going to share this with you. And it's only because it weighs on my heart that this is a truth for me. In that 2-year time frame, I had never run into and been in large crowd or not large crowds, but crowds of people, to where there were recently vaccinated humans, friends, people that I love. And they made that choice, and I respect that choice. God bless them for doing what they felt was right for them. And I get that. But then the fact that they're vaccinated, then they are continually shedding that S spike protein. So when I have never stopped hugging anyone. Listen, and I've made myself sick doing it because it's me. That's who I am. I love people, and I'm not going to turn away from them because I fear any freaking man-made virus, because I have enough intelligence and enough know-how and access now. I have access to free computer and internet to where I can research and I can find my cures. And we all have the ability. So once you've been exposed and you've had COVID, and you're in a relationship with a person that has been vaccinated, they could go through the spike detox method just like you, and you'll have. Listen, it's not transmitted through sex. It's not a sexually transmitted disease. It's an aerosol. Don't breathe on each other.
John, we're gonna have to shift gears here to EpStein in a minute, but I want to make a couple of comments. One, I want to make the comment that it's a real thing when you're a single person and you're out there trying to find your significant other. There are websites now that they want to know if you've been vaccinated or not. Like that. Yeah. That is in 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026 now. There are people out there. This is just a comment. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but there are people out there that want to know if you have been vaccinated, because that is a big deal to people. Here's my question to John Esterbrooks before we switch gears. I want to make it as quick as we possibly can. There were some comments in chat, John, talking about certain vaccines, and I'd like to get your input on this because we talked about it before on the podcast. When it comes to smallpox, measles, and some of the big things, right? Polio.
Yeah.
Nowadays, unfortunately for myself, I don't trust any vaccines. But what are your thoughts on like the big three: measles, smallpox, and polio? Do you feel at this point in this juncture in time, people should still take those vaccines, or should they not? Because there was comments about my comment about the what's the word, Tammy? The Amish. They don't take any. Nothing. And shingles. That's another good one, Sarah. Thank you. Shingles. But they don't take any vaccines, and they have people that die. There are people that do not live forever, obviously, and people that get sick in the Amish community and die. But what are your thoughts on like the big 3-4 there, John Esterbrooks, before we shift gears to EpStein?
Oh, and before John gets going, because he'll get going, but I want to interject real quick. Don't forget, Robert Kennedy Jr. made the vaccines go down, and they said only 11 vaccines for children now. We were up to 77. So that is a huge difference.
Yeah, it is a huge difference. You are correct.
All I can tell you is that if Robert Kennedy Jr. is doing everything I know him, that because he's won in courts, he's a legal mind. He is a great interpreter of the science, and if he's got it down to the 11, then I'd feel good about doing exactly that, because he's not out to hurt it. The guy was one of the first 4 people that hit my website, or I don't even know how it came up. Maybe it's because I'm a conspiracy nut, but it was Dr. It might have been Malone, maybe Sherry Tenpenny. I don't remember. But anyhow, there were 4 of them on there, and Robert Kennedy was one of them. And he gave us the path to find COVID and to search it and know how to get to the documents. And he did it in a podcast. What a powerful tool, huh? Like real news. So Mike, I have had the measles vaccine, smallpox vaccine, and the polio vaccine, and my children have had it. I'm not no doctor. Before I would give anything to my child, even when it was vaccine, someone's going to explain to me. I wanted to know, hey, what's the potential? Don't come in here and jack up my boy. I'll burn your place down.
Well,
so anyhow, I mean, those have been around forever. I mean, Jonas Salk, pretty wise old boy, So those are vaccines that are tried and true, and I'm not opposed to administering them to anybody. But that's me. I'm not a doctor by any sense.
But we have to remember.
I'm sure I would contact Robert Kennedy. His people would tell you.
Yes, but we have to remember Robert Kennedy just also ordered all the mercury taken out of vaccines, and it passed. Why was mercury in there in the first place, John?
Yeah,
They
wanted to kill us all, Tammy. Listen,
see, you get the real truth from John, everybody.
That's the reality of it, and we're going to get into this because I'm going to get into Mr. EpStein.
Okay, let's go.
We have a world that is truly divided. But it's only divided in two pieces. And I don't care, I can refer to it in a left ideology, right ideology. No, I'm talking about there's two things that are opposed right now for every human on the planet. We're in a battle of God versus Satan.
Amen. Yes, we are. Yep.
And Satan, the COVID-19 vaccine. Every bit of my research understanding, we are all birthed and our DNA contains a God gene, a spark of the divine. Understand that, and I'm telling you that with great passion. We each have the spark of the divine when we're born. It's in our natural DNA. So they targeted that splice, and they engineered that splice into the human genome to attempt to silence your consciousness and your divine presence. They want to diminish your ability to connect to a higher source. They don't want that. But that spark exists. It's real. It's electronic. You can see it. And it's in every strand of DNA of every child born. But why would they want to go in and target that with COVID? But they did. So let's get past that. Okay. So now, Mr. EpStein, his ties to the Rothschilds are verified. That's all I got to say about that, because the satanic power that has operated and controlled the entire monetary system of the planet is the Rothschild family. And the Rothschild family are known satanic worshipers. They've taken photos in their little satanic gear, the little get-up. And supposedly they've got a lust for blood.
Oh, so
I mean, yeah. Mr. EpStein.
There's a lot of them out there, these major families. As you get going, John, it's freaking me out, because that is what's coming true with these Epstein files. This is not something that is just happening in the genre of Beyonce, Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, and everybody else. This goes way back to the kings and queens and stuff from way back when.
Oh, yes. It's part of who they are. And you got to recognize, Amschel there, Rothschild, when he split his boys up and he sent them out around the world, it might have been 6 of them, 5 or 6.
But I think there was at least 3 of them, John. It was at least 3 of them.
Yeah. So when they got themselves out and about in the world, that was the first mission. And his belief was that if I control the money, I control the people.
Correct.
That's it. And that's the way the Rothschilds operated. And
let me hop in here real quick, because it's breaking still today. more photos coming out. Disclosure, I don't know if the photos are AI generated. Very well could be. I'm just putting that out there because there could be some AI photos of EpStein out there. But I put in the thumbnail today, I found some other ones out there, some new ones today put out there of EpStein, and it looks exactly like him. I mean, it's really hard to deny it. I believe personally, that he never did himself in prison. I believe that was just a cop out. They turned the cameras off. They moved him around. In my opinion, probably shipped him to Israel is my guess. So that's my first question to chat tonight, or second question, third question, whatever it is. Where in the world is Jeffrey EpStein? Where do you believe he is? A lot of people believe he's in Israel. I've heard other people say he's been moved somewhere else. I believe he's still out there. I believe still things are still happening. Like, he is so connected. There's no way that guy killed himself. And that's my question to you and Tammy. Okay. Is he still alive, and where's he at?
All right, listen to me. This is something that, regardless of your political party or that party's agenda, that this nation and every person in this nation must come to understand and believe. Jeffrey EpStein is the spawn of Satan. Amen. Now, that everything you see, everything you hear, and listen, I'm breaking down on my own pace, and I'm slow, but I am very thorough. So, but in it, Mr. EpStein is the spawn of Satan. I mean, he's Satan incarnate, I guess, and that's, do you think that they would confine him and keep the son of Satan in a prison cell? No, my people. Why would they do that? He knows where all the skeletons are. Now, that's a lot of reason people would think that you would go in and off him. Did they off him? And then who's the person that offed him? Might be some evidence that the FBI participated in that, because it can't be the CIA, because the CIA can't make a hit in the United States of America. Not all of them going to hell. So, well,
John, yeah, and this is the thing that came out recently, sir, is his death announcement was dated before a day before he died. That's the recent release. That's crazy. Come on.
Well, here's the thing. So now let's get past the narrative. He's an evil man.
The narrative,
So he's an evil man. He has worshipped Satan on his island, has a temple. They have consumed the blood of babies. They've impregnated young girls, teenage girls, and then taken the babies at birth and sacrificed them to Satan. Now that's out there. That's out there.
Yes.
Okay, so now what else is out there? Definitely the cases of rape of young boys and young girls is there, people. Listen to me. People went to that island, and not just that island. That place in New York ought to be burnt to the ground. That's right there. And no Howard Lutnick. That line.
That Howard Lutnick is a nasty, nasty man. And
he's not. Look, Tammy, I'm going to tell you what he is.
We disagree, John.
Let's speak. Listen. All right, but listen to me.
Okay.
I deal with two realities, and this is the number one reality that is fact that I can prove.
Okay.
Howard Lutnick, if he's dirty, he's monetarily involved. He might have been in the finance operation of the island, or he was in business of some kind with Jeffrey EpStein. He's Trump's little man, commerce secretary. So if he's the commerce secretary, he knows money and finance, huh? Well, if you were in money and finance, and it is well recorded, and all you got to do is listen to Steve Bannon's interview with Mr. EpStein, and he tells Bannon, I had to go out and save the financial crisis and save those son of a guns in my prison cell, huh? And in the prison he was in, he had one phone in one hand, and then he had to reach over he was having two conversations at the same time in prison to pull us out from underneath the housing crisis and the banking crisis. What is it? Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, they just let crash. And that's all they did. They picked a victim, but who did it hurt? It hurt the people. These people are evil. They don't care when they rob your wealth. They don't care that they overtax you. They do not care. You don't have a Congress. You got a den of freaking thieves. Thieves. When you go and look, look. Now in the den, you might go out there and find you 5, 6 good pups. But the rest of them, they're corrupted. And who corrupts them? Just like EpStein. EpStein corrupted people. He did. That's one of his evils.
So why now? This is my question. This is my question to John Hester. This is my question to chat. If you're listening tonight, put a comment in there. If you're catching the replay, put a comment in there. And to Tammy, the Hammer Nation, why now? Why now are all these photos of Jeffrey EpStein just now popping up? I'd like to get your thoughts.
I'll start because because John's going to go off. So I'm going to say all this information, I do believe it's a distraction as well, because everybody's had this. You've got freaking Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, you've got Bongino. They've all had this information, did nothing with it. The previous administration had it and did nothing with it. But the only saving grace that I found out today was through these dang files was Trump actually said and called in to the police in 2006 and said, you have to check out and look into Ghislaine Maxwell because she is evil. And that was in 2006. Now they're trying to pin everything on Trump, just like they try to pin everything on EpStein and Ghislaine. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think Ghislaine and EpStein were the main people. I think they were the facilitators. He had an island, but I'm going to say there's way more powerful people, leaders, controllers, whatever you want to call them, elites, and way more islands and way more tunnels. And EpStein was just kind of the connector of the dots, so to speak. So I think we need to go even higher. And I think that's why they haven't been released. I think that's why Trump said they're boring. We don't want to look into them. Or I can't believe the country still is interested. So that kind of put a bump on Trump, even though he seems to be exonerated from it. I don't care who's involved. I don't care if we have nobody sitting in the seats across the world. I would rather try to function with nobody in them than these crazy, sick, evil SOBs that all this information we have on all these files has been validated from Pizzagate to babies to what they've done to everybody. It is sickening. It's evil. These are not human beings. These are evil, possessed people. They're possessed. Okay, John, your turn.
Well, as a man of God, I'm very clear that Satan grips these people. I mean, and it's the connected, the billionaires. They're in control. These are the same couple hundred people that have controlled the entire planet since the formation of the central banks. I guess you go back for us, the hard reality is we did have some after the Civil War. We had some we formed a corporation because we had to pay for that debt, but then we moved on from that then. And in, I guess, 1913, they'd advanced the thought of a central bank, and then in 1917, that's when they formed the Federal Reserve and the Internal Revenue Service, because the Internal Revenue Service does not, at one time, they were under the Department of the Treasury. And you'd get your little tax form, fill them out, and they'd go to the Department of the Treasury. Well, then all that just went away. And why did that go away? Well, it's because the reality is people understood that all they are is the collection agent for the Federal Reserve banking system. And then the Federal Reserve banking system is no part of the U.S. corporation. The U.S. corporation is owned and controlled by the Bank of London and the Vatican. We had debt to both. But I mean, the reality for right now, what the distraction is, we're watching the people have referred to it as the Great Reset, and that involves currency and finances, money, and everything about money. You know, I guess there's what is the root of all evil? The love and lust of money, huh? And when you look at these
Yes.
people with Mr. Epstein, the billionaires, I'm going to give you one guy. Why would I pick on this night just to share just a little information about one individual? Because I see him as a key with one other cat that I'll bet you the chat, by the time I get through with this, somebody in that chat room will be able to say who the next person is. How many people in chat know who Peter tHe is? Peter tHe. Who is Peter tHe? Let me know. Give me a bell. Tell me when somebody comments.
Okay, well. And then there's a question here from Harvest Mary Moon says, is this the end of times?
Is this the end of times for Satan? For Satan. Okay. I believe, I told you I'm a man of God. And you know what I know from the word of God? The victory is in Jesus Christ. That's the fact. And guess what he's going to do? He will utter one word, and it's all over with, sister. So just relax. God wins. I tell you all that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And hey, John H., it's good to see you in chat as well. He's here. So he says,
good to see you.
Peter tHe. How about old Peter tHe?
Tammy, I'm going to ask you a question because you and I, we talked the last couple of days about this with all the stuff breaking on EpStein and all these new photos. John H. Has made comment that these very well could be AI generated, and I don't disagree with that.
Okay,
they very well could be AI generated. But you and I talked about, are we being led around by our noses on some of this? And my biggest question is, if we are, why?
You know, LW, you and I go to task back and forth with conversations about this stuff, and it's true. I have to think, why now? Why is all this exposure with him when everybody's had it? You know, they keep saying, the left keeps saying, you know, Trump, and they're calling for Trump to be taken down. He's on the file 38,000 times. Just because somebody's in the files and mentioned doesn't mean they're guilty. What's guilty is the pictures and the actual videos they have that they're redacting, that they are protecting the pedophiles that actually committed these crimes. That is what bothering me. So I think it is a distraction from the real truth that LW, if they redacted the names and the videos, that it would tumble down all of these people that are in our government from local all the way up to federal. And I think it would blow our minds as well as celebrities and everything else, because the Super Bowl was a good example of another Satan worshiping type thing. You don't even have English spoken there. And I think it is a distraction. I think they are just trying to just make us go freaking crazy, because as soon as we latch onto something and we think we have the answers, something else pops. And like I said, we all forgot about COVID and Fauci. Now we're all focused on the EpStein files. What is the next big ball they're going to throw at us? So I don't know why now. I do agree. I do think we're being led by the nose in many ways. I do. Yeah,
and that's a fact. Y'all say, so nobody answered about Peter tHe. Well, he's a German. He's a German and American. So he's one of each. Half German, half American, I guess. I guess he just holds a dual passport so he can carry out his he's a venture capitalist, right? And a political activist. Woo! Co-founder of PayPal. Now, if he's one of the co-founders of PayPal, who's the other founder? Elon Musk. Oh my God.
Elon. Okay, John.
All right,
LW and I talk about this because Elon has done so much good with Doge. Elon has done a lot. But
He's such a sweetheart. Go ahead.
no, but he's not, because he's for transhumanism. He's got chips in like 20 people's minds. He's talking about giving up Tesla vehicles because he wants to produce enough robots to get out there in the industries. And then he wants enough to be able, and he's going to use the factories that they build Teslas for, the two different kind of Teslas for the robots. He wants to get them out there into the industrial world. And then he wants everybody to have one, and says, you know what? You don't have to work because they will do everything for you. I don't trust him, but he does a lot of good. But now he's going after Bannon. And I've been talking to LW about this and sending him text and information. I'm freaking out about Steve Bannon. It's like nobody is innocent. Nobody has a clear record. What is going on? He's attacking Steve Bannon, saying Steve Bannon's evil and did money laundering through that Warcraft gaming system with China. So I mean, it's like freaking crazy. You can't keep up with everything. So I guess you're going to go ahead and tell us about Elon, aren't you?
No, I mean, look, Mr. Musk. I mean, when you talk about people's innocence, I wish I was an innocent man, but I'm not. But you know, and I work with on that with my God. You know, but Mr. Musk is heavily involved. He's the wealthiest man on the face of the earth, right? Got more money than anybody. He's the guy.
Yeah, but wait a minute, John. Does he have even more money than the Rothschilds? Because I thought the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers were some of the most wealthy families on the planet.
Yeah,
so where does Elon Musk rate with the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers?
Listen to me. He can't even touch them, brother. When you're talking about the $38 trillion of the U.S. debt, who holds the contract on that? The Rothschild Central Bank, Bank of London.
Frickers.
All right, so now listen. So what is it that they're attempting to collect? $38 trillion. Okay, give me a dollar definition. Anybody in the comments section, please. What's the definition of a dollar? When that dollar you pull one out of your pocket, somebody, and tell me, what does it say on that US dollar? I want to know, God dog it. I've been in this has puzzled me. This has puzzled me since 1980.
It's good to use for toilet paper. It's good to use for toilet paper.
Well, it's not only that, it's debt. It's a federal, it's a debt.
Fiat currency.
So now let me ask you something. Yeah, so you gave me the debt note, which is a piece of paper, right? What's to say old Johnny can't create a piece of paper that frees Johnny? It says, you know, whatever you think I owe you in this debt, here you go. This is Johnny money. Take it and spend it like you wish, you know, and whoever will accept it. If somebody takes Johnny money, well, that's someone going to got off the hook, but they're on the hook for the debt. And Trump is who's ever behind it. And so much of this now is being AI generated. The algorithms of the entire economic structure are being played.
We're screwed with AI. We are screwed with AI because everybody now, when there's videos, oh, that's AI. I don't believe that. They dismiss it. It's almost like perfect timing. It's ridiculous how good it's gotten.
You know what? You are throwing up softballs tonight, sister. I'm going to smack this one out of the park for you. Okay. So now, Pete, co-founder of PayPal, Palantir Tech. Anybody ever hear of Palantir? Ooh, Lord Almighty! and listen, in the Founders Fund. Oh, the first big investor in Facebook. Oh, no, that's not Facebook now. It's metadata, huh? Or Meta, I'm sorry. They got to tell you before they can take your data. You know what I mean? And they're out front with it. What did I tell you? God required Satan to let his people know. And Mark Zuckerberg is selling you Meta. What's he doing? No, he's collecting metadata on everybody on that social website. I'm on there. Shit, I get on there. I could care less. You know why? Because he has no power over me or my mind, right? And if I want to share, and if people want to read, and listen, I know I'm long-winded because I'm so passionate about it. But if you'll go and just go to my Facebook page, Milton John Estabrooks, and you can go and you can read what the truth. All I ever want to do is share truth for what I see it to be. And what I see is with this Mr. Peter Thiel, right?
Yes.
He's got investment in SpaceX. That's a private investment, right? Got a private industry, Anduril Industries. What do? Well, they're building advanced autonomous systems and surveillance. Oh my God, surveillance. They're selling AI systems and robots. Wow. And that's kind of common with Mr. Musk, huh? And they got a command and control software, and they named it Arsenal Number 1. So this is the first round here, coming from Arsenal Number 1 to And here's the deal: they're databases. They're collecting data. They are collecting
because
data
they want to make robots
human
that look like all of us and replace us. But
they don't have to replace you, Tammy. They can turn you off through frequency, sis.
That's true. Yeah.
Listen, what I just said.
No, it's true. I know.
You tell anybody, any of the listeners that choose to, can verify what I'm going to say. If they want to take you out, they can take you out with frequency. They can kill you with weapons that our military has using frequency. Mm-hmm. They don't need a freaking bullet. Why are we buying bullets? We ought to be melting that copper down for wire. Go ahead, brass. But anyhow, so this little Mr. Peter Thiel is listed in 2,260 results in the search engine for Jeffrey Epstein. They're luncheon buddies. They go to lunch together. Now, what people need to understand, go back to the Bannon interview. Watch the Bannon interview with Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein is a science geek, a science nerd. And you know where he wanted to advance and where he put a lot of the Rothschild capital? AI. He wanted to advance that. He had people go out to his little ranch there in Scottsdale. He get down to business about to come in, and he had a in-house office on the Harvard's campus because he was giving money away. And whose money was he giving away? Dark money coming out of Ukraine. Dark money. And these people are perpetrating the capture of everybody, not just us. And China's already done it to their population. Everywhere they go, they're scanned. You can't take a step in China that there's not a camera on you somewhere. And facial recognition, optogenetic, and using optics. You're going to have. And how many of us have done the little deal to on your cell phone? You open it up, and your bank says, "Hey, man, this would be a lot easier if you just let us do some facial recognition."
Yeah.
And you do it, Say, yeah, if it makes it easier, that's good. Save me a half a second.
Well, this is continuing on Elon for a moment. It came out, I guess he's kind of canned his idea of having people being able to live on Mars, and now he's doing the moon. So now he wants self-sustained cities on the moon. So he's shortened his launch of all the things in outer space. But that's another thing, because if you believe in the firmament, nothing can pass the firmament. Everything's inside the earth. So that's another thing with Elon I have issue with, because he talks about going in outer space, and I don't believe you can do that.
Well, I guess that's in the book too, isn't it? Tell me about that firmament. I think it is, and I'm not a Bible quoter, but I know that I've read that in the book about the firmament, and so if that's the case, that's the case. But I don't reckon I'm going to go to the moon that bad.
Me either.
You know, I mean, I hope he's probably going to get a lot of people who want to go up there. But like this billionaire right here, like this guy is worth $27.5 billion, Peter Thiel. And he is the guy that's doing everything that he's going to do is going to capture facial recognition, your metadata for your emotions. You folks got to recognize that we're on these social media places and we're sending out photographs of our children and
Facebook
and
for
then,
years.
Then a guy like me posts a lot of political stuff, you know, that, this guy right here might be an extremist. Let's go check Johnny out. And then all I'm going to say is, listen, it wasn't me, it was Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, Mike?
We're blaming Steve now.
That's it. No, but this guy right here has been in the White House. He sits down with Trump. I mean, he's right there below old Jared Kushner. You better keep an eye on this cat. And it's because of what he's building. He's building the database network, and the surveillance will be freaking massive. He's got some drones and stuff that he's operating. He's got Planeteer's Gotham database for law enforcement. He's an interesting cat, but he has sat down with the head of Mossad. Now, who else has sat down with the head of Mossad? EpStein, Jeffery. So this cat and Jeffery have been entertained. Peter and Jeffery were entertained Ehud Barak, and he was the chief of Mossad. And now who else had links to Mossad? Jesleen. Jesleen had links. Her daddy was Mossad. And then he attempted to bribe the Mossad and ended up getting tossed off a boat or something. I don't know. They took that son of a gun out. I mean, look, they took out a president in the United States of America, and we didn't do shit.
Right.
You know? But now you get a cop that mashes the neck on a man, and if he killed George Floyd, then shame on his ass, and he'd get what he deserves for manslaughter or whatever. I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, now you're talking about burning an entire city. I mean, riots everywhere over George Floyd. And no one in this nation in the 60s went out and killed anybody over the murder of JFK in Dallas. And we all knew that was a murder. That was a hit.
Yeah.
So everybody knew it. But what did we do? We didn't do nothing. You know, and here we are.
Maybe, John, it's time for us to do something.
So what do you do?
That's something that, you know, we've watched all this shit go on and on and on and on, and we have sat quietly and minded our P's and Q's. And I'm just saying that maybe it's time we do something different. That's all I'm going to say, because we're getting ready to roll into final thought here.
Okay.
And I want to get final thought on Jeffrey Epstein for sure, but also, you know, I get that the other side has always took a bigger step than we have at times. It feels like, and I still believe that they're trying to push us into civil war. That's all the stuff that I watch, pay attention to, research. It's like they want us to hate the left. They want the left to hate us. They're trying to make Trump out to be a Nazi, and they tried to make Biden out to be something else. And I just really think that they want us all to honestly grab our A2 and just eliminate each other, eliminate both sides, and then they can rule over what's left. And I know that the right will always be stronger than the left because we believe in the A2, but they're going to have to handle it somehow. So
let me tell you something.
My final thought.
That A2's an easy deal. I mean, that shall not be in friends. That's the end of the conversation. I don't want to have no more conversation about that. But now for the rest of it, Mike, and I lost my train of thought. I had a good train of thought going, but well, it was something that you said, and it was important. That's terrible to get this old. But Mr. Epstein is exactly who we knew he was, knew who he is. Now all we know is there are at least 10 collaborators. What does that mean? That are people that were working with and assisting Jeffrey Epstein financially, possibly, transportation on the seas. Oh my God, who has admiralty law? Oh, the banks. And he worked for the banks. He worked for the Rothschilds. And the satanic part of it is real. What these people are capable of, I've never had to look Satan directly in the eye. I might have looked like Satan to some people, but I never have had to confront that. But now you imagine what we're talking about here. And if this doesn't unite this nation, then shame on us. And there's some paths forward. We know for a fact that this man was facilitating the rape of little boys and little girls. Mm-hmm. We know for a fact that he was sex trafficking these children around the planet for any depraved pervert to use as they will. These are sick people.
Yeah.
In my little town, rape somebody and see where you end up. You'll be lucky. If Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Department can get out here fast enough, you got a chance of living. If they can get to you, because here's the fact. I will walk up to you and I'll tell you, I using the power of God, I will grip your neck. Now, here's the thing. So here's some reality. We don't have, people are like, what do we do? What do we do? First off, you have to learn a language. And what would be a perfect language for this American situation? I'm a man of God, and I am an American. And that's it. Don't define me no other way. And if you walk up to another guy and say, hey, how do you identify? Well, I identify as an American, and I'm a man of God. Well, then, you got a chap that you can have a conversation with, Yeah. And I don't care about your party. Don't bring your party into it if you got facts. Listen, I've learned a lot from Democrats because if you don't go down and people turn their back and say, well, I used to force myself to watch CNN and watch The View. And look, it never hurt me. They can't harm you if you are a man of God and you stand firm that there's a divine spark inside of each and every one of them from the source, the creator of all things living on this earth. And I don't care what you want to call him what you want. But if you can't identify as an American and a man of God, then I need to know that too,
Yeah.
Shoot, because here we are in this identity politics. Yeah, you're right. And who are they most aligned against right now are men that are willing to stand up and say, no, I'm an American. I'm a man of God. I'm not going to put up with this no more. I won't be lied to. I won't be stole from. I won't accept it. And I want you to come. If I'm voting for you, you better come look me in the eye and be able to tell me that you're a man of God, an American, and that you're going to get there and fight for me and for my rights and represent me. That's what we have to do. That's in the Constitution. That's our responsibility as an American. We have a Republican form of government. That means we have representative government, people that represent not their will, not the will of the Presidente, but the will of the people. And when we get tired of them, we kick their tail out.
Yep.
Amen.
Amen.
Tammy, what's your
EpStein?
final thought for tonight?
Well, I think that Epstein, one, is a distraction. Two, I do think he's alive. Three, with Ghislaine Maxwell claiming the fifth and then wanting clemency from Trump. That's just another thing that people are being able to throw out there to distract us because they're saying, oh, Trump could end it easily by saying, I'm not going to grant her clemency. I don't think she should get anything because the woman was evil and devious, just like Epstein. I want every single one of them to pay the price that is coming for the consequences for their decisions that they made. Harming an innocent child, let alone children over decades, is disgusting. One child is too many. And I'm hanging on to the hope and the faith that they will face justice someday. So I'll be following this and I hope something comes of it.
Hey, Tammy girl, can I give you a piece of mind? I will share this because oh man, you're powerful when you speak. We have something, Tammy, that they can't take from us, huh? And we have the understanding of God, right? We have no fear of what they can do. They can't control us, sis. They don't. We don't have to admonish that power to them. Just stand firm, people. God wins this. It's already told, and we got it. We just have to learn to communicate with each other. We have to learn to spit it back out as patriots.
Amen, brother. Well, here's my final thought. I do believe and trust in God. I do not trust in man. And shit's so crazy right now. All I can tell people is continue to prepare yourselves because that's what I'm doing. I'm preparing myself every day, whether it's networking with like-minded people, learning how to can, collecting seeds for gardens. Today I went and collected 12,000 brass casings, or 2,000 brass casings today. Like I'm always trying to prepare for the worst and always praying for the best outcome, because I do believe that there can be a greater thing here. But holy shit, man, if things get really bad first, I want to make sure that I can protect and take care of my family. And that's my message to everybody tonight, is just really think about that, because I think it's important for all of us to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, and connect with like-minded people like John Estabrooks and his community, me and my community. We have like-minded people that you can count on when times get tough. And I still believe that there could be some tough times ahead of us. And I don't want to be the guy sitting on the sideline wishing I'd done more. Right. And so you still have time to do more. And that's my final thought for tonight. So, Tammy, thanks for being here tonight. John Estabrooks, thanks for joining us. As always, I don't know when we'll be back next. It could be tomorrow. It might not be till next Monday. I'll have to talk to Tammy sometime tomorrow and see what schedule looks like. I know things are kind of getting busy for both of us, for our families. So we appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Hit that like button before you leave. Subscribe, share us out. John, as always, brother, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
Amen, brother. Love you
awesome.
guys.
Love you.
All right. Well, until the next time. Wings, Tammy, wings.
Oh, you want me to do it?
Wings.
Okay. I'll do it.
All right.